Hello children, today we are going to start the lesson that is wastewater management children. Now what does this wastewater mean? What does this wastewater mean? When we when we use water at home to wash clothes and utensils, bath and flush toilets, it becomes dirty. This dirty water is known as a wastewater children. Now, what does it contains? It contains urine, detergent, and dirt released after washing clothes and utensils and food waste children. Harmful microorganisms that can cause diseases just like jaundice children. Okay, it is jaundice, cholera, typhoid are present in it. Wastewater is also generated in industries, hospitals, hotels, offices, and other places, children. And the industrial wastewater contains children poisonous chemicals. It contains poisonous chemicals, children. Wastewater from hospital may contain several types of disease causing germs and dangerous radioactive materials. And rainwater children, rainwater. Rainwater that has run down the land also forms wastewater as rainfall runs over the surface of roofs and the ground. It may pick up various contaminants including soil particles, heavy metals, organic compounds, animal waste, and oil and grease children. Oil and grease children. Okay. Then children, what is it? All this wastewater forms sewage. What does this all wastewater, what does it form children? It forms sewage. It is evident from the above that it has what I have told you, that it has several dissolved and suspended impurities in it. These are called as contaminants. What are they known as children? They are known as contaminants. It is important to dispose of these sewage properly. If it is disposed of in lakes, rivers, or the sea without being treated, it can result in a major health hazard for humans and animals. So, importance. The next topic is children. Importance. Importance of drainage. Importance of drainage and sanitation children, and sanitation. Importance of drainage and sanitation. In several houses, for example in slums, there may not be a proper drainage system to dispose of sewage. In such cases, sewage may collect in pools and stagnate. These are perfect places for flies and mosquitoes to breed children. This may spread diseases with children that can be yellow fever, yellow fever, malaria, and this one yellow fever, malaria, and different types of germs such as those of cholera can also grow and multiply in stagnant wastewater. Decay of organic waste present in wastewater, what does it lead children? It leads to an unpleasant smell. It leads to the unpleasant smell children. Okay. Then what we should do children? It is important to have a covered drainage system for disposal of sewage. For disposal of sewage, what should we have? We should have a covered drainage system. The sewage should be transferred to the treatment works for treatment prior to discharge. After treatment, the water can be used for agriculture or allowed to flow into water bodies. However, in many areas, untreated sewage is allowed to flow directly into rivers. This is, children, major risk for the public health. It is a major risk for the public health. Okay, children, it is a major risk for the public health. So, next topic we are going to discuss it is about the flood water drainage. Flood water drainage. Flood water drainage. So when it rains very heavily, large amount of water comes down in a short time. If the city does not have a proper storm water drainage system, this water starts overflowing on the streets and may even enter the houses. So it is dangerous for the public health and property. For the public health and the property, children. Okay. Sanitation system can overflow during floods. There is also the risk of flood water contaminating drinking water supplies, bursting pipelines and cause sewers to backflow or even break, children. So what happens in these situations present a major health risk. What is it? That excreta will flow onto the surface, children. That is why cholera epidemics are common after floods, children. So, normally in a city, disposal of domestic sewage is separated from storm sewage by a separate pipe network. By a separate, children, pipe network. This arrangement is more efficient because the amount of storm water can be very large and cannot be properly treated in a treatment plant, children. Now we will discuss about the sewage system. Now we will discuss about the children about the sewage system. Okay, the sewage system consists of a network of underground pipes that transfer the sewage from the point it is produced to the point where it is treated before being disposed of. This is about the sewage system, children. Then, children, sewage treatment. Next topic is sewage treatment, children. Next one, sewage treatment, children. Okay. Now about the sewage treatment. Sewage treatment consists of removing the solid material from the sewage and also to make the liquid part of the sewage less harmful to humans and fish when it is allowed to flow into the water bodies. Now, what all it involves, children? It involves physical, chemical and biological process. What does it involve, children? It involves physical, children, it is physical, chemical and biological. Physical, chemical and biological. Okay. Biological process. It involves physical, chemical and biological process that remove the physical, chemical and biological contaminants present in wastewater, children. Okay. Now, wastewater treatment plant. Now, wastewater treatment plant. Wastewater treatment treatment plant. Okay, what is it, children? WWTP, wastewater treatment plant we are discussing now, children. It is done in 4 stages, children. First one is about the screening. First one is, children, screening. It is done in 4 stages. First one is screening. The wastewater is first passed through screens of vertical bars which remove large solid materials such as plastic bags, cans and sticks. Then, children, water is passed through a settling tank which is known as a grit chamber. It is known as a grit chambers, children. What happens? The water is then passed through the settling tank known as grit chambers where solids such as sand, silt and gravel settle down and are removed, children. Okay. Then in the primary treatment, what happens? Now about the just now we have discussed about the screening. Now about the primary treatment, children. Now about the primary treatment we are discussing. What happens in it? After this, the wastewater passes into a sedimentation tank called a clarifier. Okay. In which organic materials settle down and are removed with a scraper. This is called sludge. What is it known as, children? This is known as sludge. Floating materials like oil and grease are removed with the help of a machine which is known as a skimmer. The water that emerges from the settling tank, what is it known as, children? That is a clarified water. What is it known as, children? That is clarified water. The sludge is used to obtain methane, carbon dioxide and humus-like material by a process that is called digestion. That is known as digestion, children. It consists of decomposing the sludge with the help of anaerobic bacteria that do not need oxygen to grow. Then, children, dried sludge can be used as a fertilizer. The methane formed can be used as a fuel. Now in the secondary treatment, children. Now next is about secondary treatment, children. Now next is about the secondary treatment. Next, air is pumped through the clarified water in an aeration tank. This allows aerobic bacteria that needs oxygen to grow and consume organic contaminants, food waste, soap still left in the water. The bacteria ultimately settle down at the bottom of a settling tank as activated sludge. As activated sludge. Okay. They are then pumped back into the aeration tank to be reused. The water is removed from the top. The dried sludge is used as a manure. It is used as a manure, children. Okay. Then disinfection. The water is then disinfected by adding chlorine to it or by exposing it to the ultraviolet rays, children. This is about the disinfection. This kills disease-causing germs. The water can now be released into a water body such as river or lake and used for agricultural or industrial waste. Now, next we are discussing about the better housekeeping practices. Okay. housekeeping practices. What we should do, a few simple steps at home can minimize the strain imposed on the water supply system in cleaning the water for our use. What steps you can do, children? Do not dispose of cooking oils and fats in the kitchen sink. They can block pipes when they harden. Throw them in dustbin. Do not dispose of chemicals such as paints, medicines, and insecticides in the sink. They kill microbes that clean the water. Do not dispose of used tea leaves, solid food remains, sanitary napkins, etc. in the kitchen sink or in the toilet. They clog drains and prevent free flow of oxygen that interferes with the decomposition process. Throw them in dustbin, children. These are the better housekeeping practices, children. Now the alternate methods for the sewage disposal. Alternate methods, children, for sewage disposal, children. Septic tank, okay, and children, vermicomposting toilet. Vermicomposting toilet. Make a sewage system, okay, in places such as small village. Making a sewage system is very expensive in places such as small village or a farmhouse away from the city where a sewage system does not exist. So alternate sewage system disposal system can be used. One such method involves a septic tank. The sewage is allowed to flow into a tank in which anaerobic bacteria decompose the waste. Another method allows the excreta to flow into a biogas plant through covered drains. The biogas produced can be used as a fuel. That biogas can be used as a fuel, children. Then vermicomposting toilet. A new method recently tested in India is to use red worms. Which worms, children? That are the red worms. Which worms, children? Red worms. That are red worms, children, to treat human excreta and convert it into vermicompost. Okay, this method is simple, children, hygienic, and uses less water. So what all we have discussed today? Wastewater generated from houses, industries, hospitals, and rainwater that runs over land form sewage, children. Then we discussed about the if drainage is not proper, diseases can spread due to stagnant water and pollution of surface water and groundwater, children. Then we discussed about the sewage system consists of underground pipes that transport the sewage from the point it is produced to the point where it is treated. After that, we discussed about the wastewater treatment plants treat sewage to remain contaminants and make the water suitable enough to be disposed of in water bodies. There should be proper arrangement for drainage of storm water. Then the alternate method of sewage disposal are used where a sewage system does not exist. Thank you so much.